Hello everyone, I just want to go ahead and show off the latest acquisition here. I got one of these 2.4 gigahertz wireless Sega Saturn controllers by Retrobit. This is a pretty rare color, this clear slate gray with the Japanese colored front buttons here. Normally on the aftermarket these go used for about like $89 to $100. I got this brand new sealed. You can still tell the plastic wrap is still on it and everything. For about $30 shipped, which was a phenomenal deal. In fact, I'm hoping to God that I can find another one of these, but probably not. Anyway, as you may know, I no longer have a Sega Saturn, as I personally feel like the best games for the Sega Saturn are on arcade hardware, such as the CPS2 that you see there. And so I got rid of mine. The few other titles I can play on PC, like Nights into Dreams and titles like that, or just emulation. I'm not really... It's really weird. I loved the Sega Saturn when I was a kid. I wanted one like nothing else. It's probably the system I wanted the most. But as I've gotten older and I realize where the best games came from, it just kind of has lost a lot of its luster for me. But for other purposes, these controllers are great. In case you are not aware, the Model 2 controller it's considered one of the best controllers ever made. Has a great D-pad, great face buttons for fighting games, especially since you have 6 buttons on the front. And in this case, it's wireless. This looks just like an official clear black skeleton black pad that they release in Japan. We didn't get these cool colors. In fact, if you want to see something that looks similar, I do have a wired white version of the controller from Japan. This is an original controller. As you can see, it has the same colored face buttons, and everything feels more or less exactly the same. They did a really good job. However, one thing that I realized is that this did not originally work with my Axunworks Supergun. And what I was doing was I was using the Sega Saturn dongle here, and I'll show you the Saturn dongles go here, or the controllers I should say, go here, player 1, player 2. And I assumed that since it took Saturn pads that the Saturn dongle will be the trick. There's 2 modes. You have a red LED and a blue LED, and neither were working. Supposedly for Sega Saturn, you use the red LED is what works, and the blue is for other systems. I think like PC or whatever, but otherwise, yeah, I wasn't doing anything. I honestly thought it was broken or something at first. So I then tried my USB adapter for Neo Geo ports and use the USB dongle, as you can see here, in red mode. And we're playing Rival Schools right now. And as you can see, all the inputs are now registering, as well as the 4 face buttons that it uses here. So I just wanted to show that off. I'll be using this to show off Rival Schools tonight. I had a preview of Rival Schools last night, but I had not had my jumper cable yet installed. I have a spare, thankfully, so I have my, not jumper cable, I'm sorry, my kick harness. It's been a long night. My kick harness here is from Axunworks. It plugs into my CPS2, and I didn't know it, but I had this spare that I had bought at a previous time when I didn't think that this would be coming in, and I had a spare CPS2 kick harness, and it works. If you do not have a kick harness, by the way, for Rival Schools, the heavy punch and kick do not work. It's just a light 2, which is weird because it's a 4-button fighting game, so you would think that it wouldn't need a kick harness to work, but well, there you go. Anyway, so just want to show this off. It's a great controller. It has a wee bit more heft presumably because it has a battery inside, but it also makes it feel a lot less cheap than a traditional Model 2 wire controller from back in the day. That said, it still has the same, you know, rattle to the buttons and everything. D-pads feels almost identical. It has a little bit more notchiness. It could just be because it's new. And then, of course, it has a home button and a select button for modern systems like a Switch or PlayStation or whatever. I don't like that it controls, or it recharges, I'm sorry, through USB-B. That's probably one of my least favorite USBs of all time, but it is what it is. I just have that hooked up to my powered hub over here and charged just fine. So yeah, I'll be planning on using this on anything plugged into the Supergun and should be good. I definitely recommend it. And since you guys stayed here with me, there you go. You guys get to enjoy a peel or two. Comes in this nice case, as you can see here. And that insert just drops in here. Your manual and your charging cable are underneath, so if you get one of these things and you don't understand where that stuff is, just pull this out. I know it doesn't seem like it's supposed to pull out, but trust me, that's where you're supposed to be searching. So I guess the Sega Saturn dongle will forever be in the case. I have no use for it now, but hey, I do have this, and ooh, look how pretty it looks without the peel on it. They did a really nice job, I won't lie. I kind of wish the PCB maybe was black, but I think they were green originally, so I can't really complain. But yeah, hopefully I'll find another one. Not that I really play two players very often with CPS2 games, because my wife doesn't really play CPS2. She'll play a couple of Neo Geo games, but that's about it. But you never know. Maybe I'll get into it. And then presumably in the future, and I won't say as to why, because there's certain people watching that I don't want to know what's happening in my future, but in the future, maybe I will be close enough to a friend to play in person. So anyway, that's it. Ignignxkt out.